anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that, Travels. Most high up, passports up, scriptures up, freedom up, everything else down. It's the man, the myth, the legend. My name is Yesh. Salute to you all. Let's talk about it. Last night we had an interesting conversation. Uh, there's a celebration going on, so I had to join the festivities for the first time in 3 months. I had a slight cigar. It kept going out. Put that one out. Got another one. It kept going out. Put it out. It was being put out because it's not for me anymore. But again, like I told y'all a while ago, it's only for like celebrations that I might ever pick it up again. And I had last night. I didn't miss anything. Last weekend, same thing, celebration. But I'm not missing anything. So I'm glad. I'm kind of glad I stopped smoking. And that's reassurance what happened last night. But yeah, something is coming up big for me. Appreciate all of those who know me personally. But let's talk about it, man. We talked about this yesterday about hopefully you fellas can hear me. Hopefully y'all get us a thumbs up. Hopefully y'all share it. You know, my Broncos are playing. So it's halftime right now. So I decided to do a quick live stream. Not going to be long. Salute to the support from NG Virgie. Even when I wasn't live, he sent the donation. Salute to all of the fellas that do that. You know, Travel Quadruple 4, he usually does that. So just appreciate all of y'all for doing that, even when I'm not live. My dating book stopped. Every time I mention this, y'all stop buying it. My dating book stopped. Now my passport bro sales picked up. I understand that people want to take the moniker, the hashtag, the semblance of being a passport bro. But if you don't travel, I don't understand why these guys got this in their profiles. I don't understand why they got it in there. And they go nowhere. That's what I tell you. They just using it for vitriol. And for some, it could be a motivating factor. But no, if you don't have your stuff together in life, right? And I'm meaning that vaguely. But if you don't have a way to provide for yourself economically, I don't care what level is on. That's not what I'm talking about. If you don't have a way to feed yourself, if you don't have these avenues, but yet and still you wave passport bros, if you don't have your mental together, because that's very important. Everybody leave that out. If you don't have all of these factors, and when I talk about this, people don't like me for it. And I took a lot of heat for the last over 10 years talking about this. If you don't like it, right? If you don't have it together, you don't like talking about it, you're not there yet. But why are you putting hashtag passport bros in your content? And this is why I say this is a sabotaging effort, right? It's a sabotage to stop us in what we're doing. Because those that don't even travel are using the hashtag and trying to show camaraderie by sending messages or liking those that really travel who did this. They send in, they put it in our, and we be like, yo, I understand that you're trying to show that like the brotherhood and camaraderie, but dude, you're not helping because you could barely take care of yourself or your mental is not together for you to be trying to wave the flag with going overseas. That's why I particularly put in my Blue Book Gentleman. And I leave out, if y'all look at my videos on TikTok, notice how I don't even put that hashtag in there no more. I put Blue Book Gentleman in there, if anything. If anything. Because you guys take everything I'm saying as gospel, right? So I got to be careful what I say to you guys. So these guys don't even have a place to stay, can't feed themselves, don't have a job. They have a job, they can feed themselves, but their mental is off. They erratic, they suffering from mental ailments and all of these different things. But they don't want to get that together. And they have this vitriol of frustration or rage toward women in the United States of America. You don't have to do that. You don't have to operate like that. You don't. You know how you win? You do what all of those have done before us. You win by being successful. That's how you win. This is exactly how you win, by being successful. Shout out to Brother Zeke. Shout out to East Coast Kev. The economy is definitely kicking this modern women in the behind. Beware the reach back. Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. Just Bob Bowman. What up, bro? He said, just came back from Colombia a few days ago. I've traveled 4 times this year. Salute to you, bro. Salute. Salute to Bowman. He traveled 4 times already this year. Salute to him. That's a good thing. So let me say this. You have to approach it by your success. And this is why I'm going in a different direction. All grace due to the Most High. I'm going in a different direction because I don't need this. And I need to go in a different direction. Because these women are going to, listen, there's going to be a downturn in society. And you don't have to hope it. You don't have to wish it. Women are going to feel the brunt of everything going on. They think they're not. You got hairdressers when there's no clients to pay for their hair being done. Downturn. Just think about that. When there are no jobs in the office, when AI is taking over, they don't need assistants. Downturn. You don't need to brag about that. It's going to happen. You don't need to wish for it or anything. All these apartment buildings going up, who's going to be staying in them? Just think about that. If there are no jobs and there's a freeze on economics, who's going to be staying in all of these places? Who's going to have these houses? And it's just the very women that have a nest egg set aside. Those are the only ones that's going to be able to withstand this. But all others are going to falter. So there's no need to wish upon them. No, you keep living you. You keep doing you. You don't have time to look up and see what all of these other women are doing. And that's why I fought against the dating coach movement. All of these years, that's why I fought against it, even before I made a turn. Even before I went away from desiring women physically, even though I went away from changing my mentality. I knew that all of this, you guys being focused on women, was a bad thing. And it's still taking guys' money. Guys are holding on to their pennies and losing their money. That's why they're trying to be influencers and different. No. They're hoping to blow up. No. So jobs, possible jobs. Just think about this. Streams of income that passport bros can do, but there might be a downturn in these. Because now these AI, he's a professor for universities online. And we had this conversation about the trajectory of the United States. I'm talking about blockchain. We're talking about all of these different things, right? And everything is going to take a hit. Because of things going, they're going to short side the stock market, and then for trillions of dollars, so they can have this reset and just put the money back in their pocket. We all know this. They've been doing it for years. It's nothing new, right? So even the software, everybody that do stuff online, that's going to change in the next coming years. Now, I understand remote digital work, designs, and all of that stuff, copywriting, They're going to have AI to do all of that in the future. But right now, you can still get employment in that. Software development, web design, all of those, digital marketing, because people still want their products out there as of now. But you got to put that money aside when there is a freeze. I'm learning that. Hell, I've done it for years, but I'm learning it now. Just what we know. The ESL people, the private tutors, the university online courses. Those are job opportunities. Hospitality. I looked at videos for hours about people on living on cruise ships. I didn't know that was a big industry like it is. People telling their stories. Go on TikTok. Oh, you'll be on there for hours listening to these people's stories about their time and their pay and their position in a lot of these ships. And you listen to the stories that go on these ships, you won't even care about women for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, probably a month after all the stories that you listen to. That's a big thing. Yes, Brother Zeke. That's a big thing, living on cruise ships, working on cruise ships. Being a merchant mariner. Just think about that. We got brothers who are merchant seamen. They actually out there in the ocean for months. This lady was telling a story how her husband became a chief engineer by a merchant seaman. He became a chief engineer. He started out as a line cook. Made his way all the way to the chief engineer. Now he makes buku bank. His bank is through the roof. Worked his way all the way up to chief engineer. He ain't got to do nothing but get that ship correct. He got the experience for it. He know the ins and outs of all of these ships. When they have a catastrophe, he's able to subdue himself calmly and quell the situation. It's a big thing living on, whether it's cruise ships, merchant mariner, I don't care what it is. That's big going overseas. Hospitality, living in hostels. Like people do that and you don't even know, but they do content overseas. And you don't know that they work at hostels in different countries. They clean guest houses. They're the front desk for guest houses. A lot of these people are tour guides. They do travel agency work. They work at restaurants, at the hostels, outside of the hostels, in the cruise ships. You got a lot of cats that's on here, and I mention them all the time. The Blue Book Gentlemen. Small business entrepreneur, local traders. That's what they are. Blue Book Gentlemen. Whether they run in online stores, drop shipping, whether they local brick and mortar in that country. I don't care if they're dealing with import, export. They out there. The gig economy, you know what it is. Just think about it. Ride share, delivering food, task cleaning, handy services, freelancing. That's the gig economy. That's big for you to go overseas and not answer to nobody. If your living expenses here are low, so you could do that. So and you have, again, we can't put all of this stuff I'm mentioning in order because it's so much. It's so much. So remote work, I don't care if you got rental properties. I don't care if you got stocks. You see all this crypto stuff talking about how they short-sided crypto or did something to crypto the other day, and the these conglomerates came in and bought all the crypto on purpose, so they made the value decrease. I don't care if you got stuff on Upwork, Fiverr. I don't care about none of that. You got, again, you're doing something. But just be careful while you're doing it. Just don't go to anything. Consulting, I don't care if you say you're a consultant. Go open up an LLC and be a consultant at whatever you are an expert at. Whatever you're an expert at, go be a consultant. Because computers still can't answer what we need to be answered as humans. Because they don't have our experience. They're computers. You got to put it in there for them to even grasp the concept. Somebody has to program it into a computer to feel how you feel, to maneuver how you maneuver. We know there's a difference. We know there's a difference because people just removing themselves from WhatsApp groups and nobody did nothing to them. Yeah, I just took a shot. So you guys got to know that you gotta be able to change the trajectory, and I'm learning that. That's why I'm talking about HVAC. I'm good with HVAC as long as people can continue to live in apartment buildings and houses. HVAC is always going to be a part of my world. Always. Always going to be a part of my world. Always going to have employment. Whether I work for the wealthy, well, you can't even say middle class no more, or people still holding on. It's going to be two forms. It's going to be people barely holding on that's still going to need the heat and air conditioning, and it's going to be the wealthy. Always going to have work. They're always going to have pipes burst and water issues and different things like that. So you got to get in certain fields that cover that. You got to get in certain fields that you're needed. If you can't do that, then you're missing out. So the economy is changing. You guys, people are still going to Mexico. We had this discussion in our WhatsApp group. People are still going to Mexico. And now y'all see the video being passed around from group to group to group about the guy being roughed up, calling them police. Y'all don't understand. Cartel in Mexico can wear the police uniform and act like police and resemble police, and they're not. They'll jack you up, rough you up, beat you down, and take everything you got. And some of y'all moving the wrong way, but trying to blame somebody else. No, it's you. It's your attitude. I've seen how you guys go to this country. Now, if you're innocent, that's different. Let me clarify that because you guys always you guys blend different information, different examples, and meld them into one. I'm not saying that guy did or didn't, or wasn't moving, or didn't have an attitude, or did have an attitude. I'm just saying some guys do. We was in Brazil walking in the favelas. I'll never forget this. It was this dude from Chicago. He was in the middle of the street. They kept saying in Portuguese. Now, we all know what they were saying. They was like, get out the street, get out the street, get out the street. He would not get out the street. And I'm telling him like, man, you might want to get on the side. Man, I've been in the military. And then he had this like this scar, like he had a surgery or an incision on the back of his neck. That's all I needed to see. That's all I needed to see. But again, dudes like that, they left stinking, and their family, oh, he going overseas, that overseas stuff. These dudes put themselves in position or in situations because of their anger, their ailment, whatever they've gone through in the past. They have PTSD. They have all of that. But nobody wants to speak on it. People absolve them and say, no, 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 it's the country. It ain't the country. Stop it. It's not the country. Some guys go there with like this entitled, and you came from I don't know. You came from certain situations, so we just got to watch how we get down, watch how we do things, and then we'll be able to maneuver a certain way. So just watch how you be. Cartel put out a threat. Just be careful over there in Mexico. Other places also, of course. Just be careful. Now see what's happening in the DR, in Sosua, how they're trying to change that area. It's crazy. Joseph Majors, what's up, brother? They're trying to change that area in Sosua. So I get it. I get what we're up against. You build these places up, and this happens. You build these places up. We bring the money for years. And then they come in and want to say, oh, we want to stop this. Oh, we want to do this. And I know it's frustrating. But they know how to get you. They know how to remove the whores, and they know what has happened. That's why I'm glad I removed myself away from being focused on women overseas. It feels so lovely to be able to go see. Y'all see, I was just in Costa Rica. I feel good not to focus on that. Still have your money in your pocket unless you have a girlfriend or a wife. And even then, y'all shouldn't be paying for them as if they're whores. That's no better than the whore. No better. No better than a whore. Paying your wife and girlfriend's rent and all this crazy stuff. So I just can't do it. You get an allowance like, nah, I'm good. If she can, listen, you here to enhance what she already has. Just think about that. So if she can't afford stuff on her own, I'm to the point I don't want to deal with you like that. Be able to afford stuff on your own, and if I come in and I decide to give you something, or no, it's not an obligation. I don't feel like it's a duty. That's the difference what I'm on. I don't feel like it's a duty. It shouldn't be a duty. And if it is, then that's not the person for you. A lot of these guys are going broke by sending women stuff overseas. They're going broke. They're getting it, and them old men are going into their pensions, and that's why they can't retire. Because they sending either American women that they're still dating, but they go overseas. Don't get it twisted. You guys don't understand. These guys still date American women. These guys still date American women. Don't get it twisted. Don't make them believe that they're not. Don't make them allow you to believe that it's not the way it seems. It is the way it seems. They still date American women. They're going overseas and they having women over there. So their pension or their Social Security is being used up. So that's what I say. Everybody that's old is not wise. Everybody that's old doesn't learn off their experiences. Everyone that's older can be a child in the mind. Everyone, man or woman. Just know this. That's why you see some of these old men overseas broke. They got $5,000 coming in and nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it. They live in a cheap country, cheap area overseas, but nothing to show for what they're getting from their pension, Social Security, or whatever, old 401k that they saved up for. They damn near depleted their 401k for a foreign woman or a woman in the United States of America. They don't even have to travel. Let me repeat. They don't have to go overseas, and they depleted their retirement for women in the United States of America. They got 10,000 coming in a month and probably got a 1,000 to show for it. They got 10,000 and 1,000 to show for it in their retirement. So don't let these people fool you, man. Some people, the younger guys that are traveling overseas that I told you have mental ailments, they're getting Social Security. And hopefully they're doing the right thing with it. Some guys are getting Social Security. That's why they're able to go overseas. Because they technically looked at by the U.S. government as having a mental ailment. That's why everybody was asked, man, why that guy acting like that? He has a mental ailment. So understand that. He's not all the way there. That's why they move in secret. And they don't hang around too many people. Or they might have a physical debilitation. Physical debilitation, not mental, but physical. So this is different. So you got to understand the people that you're around, the people that's making content, the people that you meet overseas. You never know what but they're not going to tell you. But if you street aware and savvy, you will understand what that means. You can pick it up. They'll give you vague answers of why they're overseas, how they could support themselves overseas. It's not what you guys think. And some guys that own businesses, they got jobs in the United States of America. They have jobs. And they're spending all of their job money to try to make like they have business overseas. And it's not profitable at all. They've been in the red for the past 7 years. So don't get all of this twisted. So if you going through something, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. If you working a 9 to 5, you can't travel overseas, and they may look like everything is good. Don't believe it. Because there's a small number of men who are actually doing well. And salute to them. Who actually don't have to come online and fronting, who actually don't have to come around when I've been in this country for 2 years. And you see why all of a sudden they have to return back to the United States of America. And they don't want to tell the truth. I'm here to tell the truth. When I was living over for months, my money got low. 2 years ago, my money got low. Flat out. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Money got low. And again, I've been getting attacked for years. You think I care about you guys' judgments? No. That's what you guys got to absolve yourselves from. You don't have to be defensive. You don't have to do any of that. Oh, yeah, my money got low. So what? At least I got to go overseas and you had to be here working. That time was good. And I'm back working just like you, and I'm be able to go back overseas. This time I'm gonna make it for years. Years. Without spending money on whores. Unlike you, you had to come back to the United States of America because you spent all your money on whores. See, that's the difference. So I'm not focused on that. I feel better about not focused on that. Your money could be concentrated in one area. Is one put like what's going in and coming out. You know what's crazy? I was able to have $600 in one of my accounts and not touch it for months because I don't buy anything. Until I did this celebration, I didn't buy any cigars. That was my only vice. So, yeah, you guys just, again, I'm relearning all of this, what I've been teaching, because my mind went away from me. So, I appreciate that from you all. Again, women are not bad. They are bad, but they're not all bad. You guys are not all bad. Like they're trying to make you. Is vice is you know how to say it, vice versa. So it's the same thing. There's an equivalent. You can't speak in absolutes. You can, but you'll be highly, listen, I highly doubt that your intellectual level is is up there. It's high. Is astute. If you think that everything that we're speaking about in this context is an absolute, yeah. Then I question your judgment. Because nothing is an absolute, and we shouldn't operate like that. But you guys do. You got so much frustration with women, you do. And it's not about them. This is about you, dude. Get your stuff together, build a brotherhood. They said that there's a report that came out that men over the age of 34 have a hard time meeting friends. Hold on, let me repeat. They said it's hard for men over the age of 34. And the percentage slips my mind right now. I was trying to gather the percentage, but I can't. I was trying to remember it. But they said the percentage is very high of men that is over 34 actually finding friends. It's slim to none. So we got to do better, man. We can't let them, we can't let ourselves be swallowed up by things we shouldn't or hamper us from our future because of our desires. That's what I should say. We shouldn't let things that can hamper our future for our present desires. So that's just my opinion. I can only go from that, nothing more. Nothing more. So the game is back on. I'm glad you guys got a chance to chop it up with me and reframe how we do these things. I'll bring more topics later, but right now, economics, jobs, we got to find a way to pivot. It's going to get worse. These elites are purposely trying to make it only them. And Dr. Claude Anderson talked about this years ago. John Hope Bryan talked about this now. You guys, you better listen to these dudes. A lot of these guys are telling you guys the truth, and you won't listen. You refuse to because you have that sexual desire. And that's listen, not only is the comparison is the killer of all men, sexual desire is the killer of all men. All of your greatest men have faltered and been taken down because of sexual desires. Y'all don't get it. Told you I ain't touched a woman in over 3 years, and I'm proud to say this. You guys think it's a badge of honor by sleeping with different women. No, that's telling me that you're dealing with something internally. You dealing with something internally that you have to be with different women. Cool. That's how you deal with it and cope with it. Cool. Me, I say there's something wrong. I need to look into this. Why I need to be with all of these different women. I'm different. You can be the same as all of these fellas going overseas. You all could be the same. You all can mess with whores until your eyes bleed. Nah. I'm going in a different direction. I don't care for your whores. I chop it up with fellas all the time. That's all they on. That's all the type of time they on. And I never engage. I just listen. So there's no judgment on me. You want to do that, that's on you. I think differently.